right, so we are live. Welcome everybody. Nobody don't join yet, but we're getting ready to getting ready for our live today, Thursday, June the 11th. So very good. We are here, getting ourselves prepared, waiting for everyone to join. This is pretty neat. Ballaz stepping up and trying to get ourselves ready to speak about college and all that college has to offer. The ups, the downs, all lessons to be learned from the process of going to college. This will be very interesting. Our first night back up. All right. So we will be talking tonight, college, everything relating to college. So I'm Andre Virtue. I'll be your host. My co-host Greg Simmonds will be joining us later. He has a very important meeting that he is a part of, but he'll be joining us later. I'm very, very happy to talk tonight about college. So many of us either growing up or have persons who have gone to college. That process of getting ready to go to college has always been one of challenges because we just don't know. We don't know what the right approach is. We don't know the right questions to ask. We don't know where to find the answers to these questions because we're predominantly, talking about recruiting from the Caribbean. It poses some challenges, and so we felt it was a very important for us to bring up this topic. Very important for us to start the process of educating ourselves as coaches, as educators, as well as the players themselves, and getting them ready for the process of college. And so we thought about our own experiences of our own applying to go to college and getting ready for us to, which school to go to. Is it the right school? Does it fit the things that I want to achieve in life? Is it complementing? Is it where do I have support? Do I have family and friends around? Is it a good soccer program? Is it a good athletic program? What are the SAT scores that are needed for us to get there? So many questions that are asked. It's about SAT scores, NCAA clearinghouse. So we definitely want to talk about all these things because it is information that needs to be heard, and it's information that I think would be very helpful for all of us, parents, coaches, and everyone alike. So definitely welcome those who are joining us. We are going to have a great time, a great discussion, and happy for those who are coming on, and looking forward for a good night where our live will take us down so many different roads. So as we prepare, as we look out for more people joining us, we're just encouraging persons to ask questions. You might be listening here because someone shared a link, someone told you about this live, someone shared that we'll be talking about college, and you are in the process either as a parent or as a student athlete, either considering going to or have someone that's going and you want the information. So the questions that you ask are going to help us to find those answers for you. Some of it we might not be able to give to you tonight, but we are going to have different guests. We're going to have different guests, either college coaches talking about their experience on what they're looking for in their recruiting kids. We're going to be talking to current players, student athletes who are in college and can share about their experience, what it is like leaving home, leaving family, friends, loved ones, and going to some distant, far away city or state and going to school, studying whatever topic it is. Whatever career they want to pursue, and all that comes with that. Then we'll also want to be able to speak to those who are thinking about going to college, but they have the thought of playing pro or going pro. I know we are predominantly a football organization, but a lot of what we'll be talking about has a lot to do with sports in general, student athletes in general. And so we definitely want some of those questions to come in that we can be able to begin to find those answers to it. So we do have some former players or former student athletes, persons who went through this entire process and have a lot of of their stories to share, what it was like for them, and that would be very helpful for a parent and for a soon-to-be college student to hear from some of those stories, what it was like and what they had to experience. Some good, some not so good, but all of those information that we'll be getting from them is information that would be great for each of us as we look to get our own children into college, or we get other people who want to go to college. Big up Ainsley. Big up Ainsley. So Ainsley's question is, what steps can players take to advertise themselves for the American collegiate market, and how do we grab attention? Excellent question, Coach Ainsley. Yeah, thanks for that question. It is definitely a very big market. There's a lot of people that wants to go to college, and there are a lot of universities. And so why would our player or our student athlete get opportunity to go, and what do we need to do? So what steps can players take to advertise themselves? I think one of the main things that we have to be doing is ensuring that we communicate about the importance of the balance between their academics as well as their sports. We found on a number of occasions where they either have it the balance is not right, where they're doing very well academically, but they're not doing very well in terms of their sport, and there's a little challenge there. Or they're doing very well in their sport, but they're not doing very well academically. And so one first step is to really maintain that balance. From you enter high school, you must begin or surround yourself with people who are around you, helping you to get to where you want to become, where you want to go. So the moment someone comes into high school, you must begin to plot a path, have a game plan, and that is one, balancing the schoolwork and the sports. I think outside of that is ensuring that when we look at all the things, your transcript speaks a lot. Sometimes we focus just on the CXC and the CSEC results and SAT, but one important factor from many universities is looking at your transcript, looking at your history. What is it that you've been doing for your schooling from you entered high school? They want to take a look at that. So a very good example would be, and I say to some of my players at times, I could have all A's, 100% marks, very good, but the comment section says absent 40 times, suspended 2 times. It begins to send a message to me that something is not right here, and your transcripts somewhat have some of that information on. So it's very important that one very important step to take is to ensure that you maintain the basics of us attending school, ensuring that you're doing as much as you can. Everybody's not going to be an A student, but make sure that you are there, present in the classroom, and that the transcript shows your progression. It don't show the gaps in that you have to explain yourself and that kind of thing. You want to maintain that. And then the other thing is, as you are playing sport or participating in sport, you want to document that. You must have a history, a log, a CV of your sporting career, entering high school, you know, your achievements, what you have accomplished over the time, and you get to the point where when you put all of that together, there's a storyboard. There's something about you that will take someone's interest, that I can begin to see and connect to a history, or connect to something about this athlete, because this athlete is going to be one of many players who want the same spot at a particular university, and therefore an important part is, why should we select this athlete over another one? A lot of it goes to when they look and watch your profile and watch your CV and look at the your accolades, look at the things that you achieved, to see that you're a part of a team environment, to see that you have played in many games, lost some, won some. Those are things that shows a complete story of the athlete that you're recruiting, and that goes a far way. So definitely the collegiate market, American collegiate market, the SATs, the NCAA clearinghouse are all parts of that process that we will have someone talking about that in a few weeks. But those steps are, I think, foundational steps that are very, very important. So your transcript, your GPA, maintain a very healthy GPA throughout the years, and balancing between your academics and your sporting things are critical to ensuring that when that time comes for you to be applying to college and applying to these various schools, you have those things ready to go. So hope that answers the question, Ainsley. the grabbing the attention really is obviously when they get the opportunity to play and to perform, that they do it and make sure that their name is being called. I mean, you have to be a team player. You have to be contributing to the success of your team. And those are articles, those are highlights that are going to come out. Maybe you as a parent might have to do your own in videotaping and putting together a highlight reel of your child or of your players, so that you can at least say to the college coach, I have a highlight reel. He might not have gone to this top school, but he was at this school and this is what he did. And here's a video, here's highlights. So that's definitely a very important part. So thank you for that. We do have another question here from Richard Gray, or comment. The student athlete has to ensure they are following the NCAA guidelines for what subjects to take from grade 9 to 12, third form to upper 6, and the minimum GPA attained. Very right, Richard. Thank you for that. Some of the things that we don't get to hear very often, and we have to take some responsibility here in Jamaica, is that there's information that is very, very clear at what NCAA guidelines require in terms of the subjects that you need to have, whether it's your math, English, your social studies, a language. All of these things are known. This is not a surprise. It shouldn't be a surprise in fifth form or lower six that you're not going to go to college. Oh, but I didn't do English, or oh, I didn't know. That's an indictment on us here in Jamaica and in the Caribbean, that not preparing you athletes for really what we know is already going to be asked. And so that is something that is very, very, very important. That as you enter third form, you start making decisions whether you're doing the arts or the sciences. You also need to have a plan for, as a student athlete who's going to go to college. So you know you need to do SATs, you know you need to pass maths and English. So the statement, well, I don't like math or I don't really like English, it really is not something that you can just accept, because you're going to have to pass math, you're going to have to pass English. Coach can't do anything for you at that point. You know, in this situation, all coach can is open the door, but outside of that, your results would have to speak for itself, and that is very, very powerful. So definitely a point there, Richard, that we all need to know, and that's a very, very good point. Big up Mr. Clark, Carlington Clark. So Poppy is a teammate of mine. We went to Howard University together, and definitely had fun times being at school and going to college. And obviously, thank you for joining, Poppy, and thank you for contributing. So you do have a question here. Is there currently a program that allows university coaches to come to Jamaica to recruit? Excellent question as well. It has been very ad hoc. A lot of it has to do with relationships. We do have some college coaches who have good relationship with certain high schools. So it might be a few coaches who have relationships with a JC, a George's, a Casey, a Wolmer's, or some D Cup teams, and they build that relationship and keep coming year in and year out looking for players from those schools. And you know, there's nothing wrong with that. But there are times when there are also a group of college coaches who come, and they come with an intent for us to showcase and display the kids that we have that are looking to go to college, and they will come down on a recruiting mission, and we will put together, we meaning coaches in Jamaica, not specific to Andre or Ballaz, but just general coaches will try and find a way to put certain things together to allow coaches to come and look at them. They will look at them and they say, I like the number 9, I like the number 10. And the next question they ask, which is a very important question, is how is the grades? What is their character like? What is their capacity? So it's not just enough for us to say we're going to have kids to showcase. We have to also make sure that we put all the other things packaged properly, so that when they ask the question, you can say, yeah, he has his grades, here's his background, and these are things that we can be able to you know, to share with the coaches, so that they can be able to go a little further. So that's very important. It doesn't only happen in fifth form. You know, some college coaches recruit 2-3 year bands or years out. So they will come to Jamaica and be able to look at a fourth former with the intention that in 2 years' time, this player could potentially be recruited. So, you know, that system, Poppy, is that we need to do a little bit more in terms of organizing ourselves. You know, generally we need to be more organized and need to have dates. They need to have dates ahead of time. There are planners. They know when they want to come. It's usually in December, January. Their season finishes in October, November. So they will look in a December, January to make that trip. So we have to do everything that we have to organize ourselves and to ensure that when they call, we can say we'll have something in place. We do need to collaborate and do some things together, but at the moment it's ad hoc, and there needs to be a lot more that is done to expose college coaches to student athletes and parents. And there's some stuff we're talking about, and we'll do a lot more on that. So thank you for that question, Poppy. Wow. Usually it's the other way around. Mr. Damon Gordon, sir, how are you? It's a pleasure for you to join us, and thank you. Keep doing up the work that you're doing, and really appreciate all that you continue to do for football. Miss you in Jamaica, but we know you're doing what you have to do. Your question: these kids need better guidance from the home to steer them from the very early. The reality of many Jamaican households is difficult for many student athletes to thrive from. Wow. You touch on a core there, that Damon, that is is dear to my heart, because I know we focus so much on the ball side that we forget that there is a life that is at play with so many issues, from single families to not being exposed, and we expect these kids to leave from our shores and go over there and do well. And the reality of it is, unless there's real intentional guidance on the part of coaches and administrators, not just to win a Manning Cup or to do well in schoolboy football, but we have to complete the whole process in helping them to express themselves, helping them to understand what they're going to be entering into. They're signing documents, and usually as a coach, do everything for me. I'm a star baller, coach, sign this, coach, give me this. But the point is, they're not going on their own. They're all on their own, having to make decisions on their own, having to make some very tough decisions too. Where to go, where not to go, things to say and not to say, when to say it, when not to say it. We're in an environment now where a lot of the issues that are coming up are societal issues. They are real heart issues that are affecting each and every one of our footballers and our athletes. And so the importance here is to say that we have to do some things to help guide these players. I know I do the best that I can do to prepare our players in understanding what the next level is. Going to college is, everybody said going overseas, it's green on the other side and everything's great. Well, guys online, Darren and Poppy and Gregory, know it's not necessarily green on the other side. It's just another opportunity, another exposure. And fortunately for us, we had each other. Some of our student athletes don't get opportunities to go to college with another friend or a colleague or another Jamaican or another Caribbean. They have to go where opportunity is given to them. And so, the reality of it is we have to understand what they're about to go into, and we have to start preparing them from Jamaica. We have to start giving them the tools to prepare them. And that's a very, very important component that Damien, across the board, our coaches cannot just be coaching them to be great footballers. I've said that if I just coach them to be good footballers and not good people, I would have failed them as a coach. So I think to round that off is really to recognize that I have a responsibility as a coach. We have responsibility as coaches to prepare them to be men, to be better women, to be better leaders. And if we do that, what we'll find is that it's a whole different generation of kids going away, and they're ambassadors. They will go over there and they're representing Jamaica and their high schools and their communities, being the first to go to college, being the first to graduate. These are all good things that we have to hold on to and try and improve on. So thank you for that, Damien. Continue to send the questions and help us in on the live. Brethren Kashka, how are you doing, sir? Good to have you on. How important is it for these prospective student athletes to sit the SATs, and which sitting of same during the school year do you recommend, especially for final year players? Yeah, for those who are not familiar, the SAT is that grade system, or that system that the United States colleges use as their entrance. It has to be taken. There's no getting around it. Without the SAT, you cannot go to a Division I school. There are obviously some other ways to get into by way of junior college and community college that might not require that. But definitely to go to a Division I school, you cannot go there without SAT. Another point about SAT is that The NCAA might have minimum requirements for you to just be eligible to play football or to participate in sports or to be eligible to be an athlete. However, each individual university or college have their own entry requirements. So let's say, for example, I got 900 on my SAT. The university that I might want to be going to, their eligibility to get in or their requirement is maybe 1200. So though I might be cleared in NCAA, I might not be cleared by that school. And obviously you can understand that dynamic. So SATs are very, very important. I think if you're talking about our athletics and our sports or student athletes, we have to look at the number of times that the SATs are offered. And there's nothing wrong in trying to give them the exposure by doing it early. And there's nothing wrong in doing it and trying to do it again. I know some of it boils down to the finances and the ability to pay. But I think, I've challenged my players and I said, look, I find it hard that if you need to do a SAT, or there's classes or do the actual exam, there's a young player that wants to do his SATs, wants to do the exam and go to classes, that I can't find another Jamaican somewhere who is willing to support that kid to be able to go to the class and the SAT, because it is saying to us that here's someone that is obviously thinking about his future or her future. Here's someone that is really considering going to college, and if I, as a Jamaican, can help this individual to get there, I'll do my part. So, this view of just accepting a mediocre grade or just enough grade, I think you're shooting yourself in the foot, because if you get a higher grade, it makes you be able to go and try and get to a different institution, a better institution that provides more opportunities for you. So I think that is a very important thing to do, because most of our Manning Cup and the Costa Cup players play between September and November. When the SATs are happening in that window of time, it's very hard for them to go to school, play ball, and do the SAT at the same time. So there might be a January 1, and I think there's a March and probably a May. There are different dates, but the point is you just have to have a plan, knowing that the you have to sit the SAT and ensuring that you prepare the students. If part of your goal is to go to college, you have to take the SAT, and we just need to do our part to ensure that we give them the tools or give them the access to get to these classes ahead of time. So thank you for that, Kashka. Well, my host is here. How are you doing, sir?
Yes, me. How are you doing, sir? How are you?
I'm good. Hi, Greg. So everybody, we've done some lives before, and Greg and I have been co-hosting these lives. I shared with you in the very beginning that he was in a meeting and he joined us late. So I just want to welcome Gregory. Greg, we just had a few questions from Poppy. Poppy's online, Kashka, and Damian Gordon. Just ask some questions pertaining to college so far, and I was just trying my best to answer them.
Right.
So how are you?
Kashka Jones?
Yeah, Kashka Jones. Same Kashka.
Same Kashka. Big up, Kashka.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything good, man. So it's a good, positive football meeting here, so it was good. We can talk about that another time.
All right, great. All right, so Greg, before we get our guests on, just want to just quickly, if you could, just share what your college experience was like. I mean, I think a lot of it, we started that process. We know how difficult or challenging it was, but we obviously benefited from the experience. So maybe you can just share, to our listeners and our viewers, just what your college experience was like.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I decided to migrate to the U.S. in fourth form in Jamaica, to come to the U.S. to really get into the American system and get recognized at a youth level here. So it worked out well. Majority of my family went to Howard University, so that was the university I was going to go. I had offers to go to many other top schools, but that was a family transition, so ended up there, which it was amazing to have yourself and the twins and Puppy and bringing all our national team Jamaican players up with me. So it was amazing. It was the best time of my life when it comes to the school itself. We had a great team. Could we have done better? Yes. But the infrastructure wasn't as powerful as other major universities. But Howard University, everybody knows Howard University for its tradition. Education was a massive piece of Howard University. The soccer program wasn't their big program, but we went there and we did well. We represented. We're nationally recognized. So the whole experience was amazing. Getting into Howard University, obviously the grades is important. In the US, you have to have a certain GPA and you have to have a certain SAT, just like in Jamaica. We don't have the CXCs and all that. You have to have a certain grade point average to get into these universities. So it doesn't matter the type of player you are. If you don't have the grades, you won't get in. So schooling is very important. But would I go back to Howard University? 100%. With the friends and the vibes that we had was amazing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have a Howard link and talk about that. And obviously through the couple of weeks that we have, we'll be able to share a lot of our experiences in between our guests speaking. So we look forward to even sharing a little bit more about our background. Richard said Howard is about education, straight. Well, Richard, to be honest with you, I mean, it is about education. It's a wonderful institution. When we had the opportunity to come together, Greg was in the US before I was there, and his cousin Raymond was going to Howard. He was going to go to Howard. He was representing the US, and Greg said, "Yo, V, we need to come to Howard." And I had other options, and then we just said, "Can you imagine what it would look like if we all come together?" So Greg started to say, "Look, I'm not coming this year, but I'll be there next year." I knew Raymond was going to be there as a US national player. I was a captain of the national under-20 team at the time, and I was like, "Wow, this could be the start of something." And then I got there, and then from there, Jason and Johan, I say Johan online, big up yours. Jason and Johan came, Gregory then came, Poppy came, Mario came, Darren came. I mean, we were the envy of many universities who hoped they could have, Michael Lawrence. And we had a number of other Caribbeans from Bermuda, from Trinidad. And we had a team that was envied by many if we individually could have played on their university team. And yes, all of us were on one squad. So some very, very, very fun memories of our experience there, and definitely take a lot from what Howard provided for us in terms of our education background and the support that I got from it. And to graduate and have a degree from Howard is definitely no normal achievement. But many of all of you who are here listening know that we had a love for football, and our desire was to play pro. And so when you look at it on that flip side, even although we got to the NCAA playoffs in our final year, and we know if we were fully fit, we could have probably competed and even gone further. So we look back with those kind of memories and ask what ifs, things would have been different and if it could have been changed. But I know I don't have any regrets in that regard, especially because of what Greg shared. To this day, we have some friendships that transcend issues and problems that I don't think we can put a value on that. So definitely had some amazing times there and learned a lot. So,
But one of the other big pieces, as we are in the mentorship mindset, that's what we're giving back. Our experiences will help, future college players make the right decisions based on our experience. So
correct.
It comes around,
Yeah, so very, very good. That's great. So we're going to just kind of shift in introducing our first guest. We have two guests that will be joining us today. We have Maliek Howell and Kameron Simmonds. And our first, I'm going to bring both of them on at the same time, but I'm going to start with Maliek. So we'll have another question coming in. All right, so that's Maliek. Good evening, good night, Maliek. So my introduction to Maliek is Maliek Howell, a former Jamaica College captain and Manning Cup winner. Um, Also a Ballaz Mentee. He's also captain of the Jamaica National Under 20 team, and is currently at University of Memphis. Obviously, I had an opportunity over the years to mentor Maliek and know that he is currently in university and going through some of the very same issues that we went through, or that um, some of some of the players now are going to go through. And so we wanted the opportunity to have Maliek on to just talk to him, ask him questions about his football, his background, what he wants to achieve. And so we want to just welcome Maliek Howell to our Facebook Live. Welcome, Maliek.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
All right. So Maliek, just tell everybody who is Maliek. Who is Maliek Howell? For those who don't know, you can tell us a little bit of who Maliek is.
Well, Coach already said it. My name is Maliek.
Man mute.
No, man, he's up. Go ahead.
Yeah, Coach already said it. My name is Maliek Howell. I used to be a former Jamaica College captain. The former under 20 Jamaica team captain. I play right back, and I chose, like, my pathway was to go to college from leaving high school, as many people may know. And yeah, that's basically it. After, when we get more into the live, I could continue discussing and talking more about what y'all want to know.
All right, so Maliek, I just first start off, what was it just before going to university, football here in Jamaica, playing, what are some of those dreams that you had before leaving to go to college? Give us a glimpse into Maliek growing up and being in football here in Jamaica before going to college.
So for me, before I left Jamaica and growing up,
we can't hear him. I don't know if everybody else is hearing him.
Hold on a second there, Maliek.
Can I ask the chat if people
guys in the chat, are you hearing us clearly? So if you can comment, that would be appreciated. I'm hearing him clearly, but
yeah, I am not. I can hear you clearly.
Yeah, so guys in the chat, if you guys could comment if you are hearing us, hearing me, hearing Maliek. Yeah, so everybody's hearing. I'm not sure, Greg, but we are. Are you hearing me, Greg?
I'm hearing you, but I'm not hearing Maliek. That's fine. Go ahead.
All right. All right. So Maliek, you can continue just kind of sharing what your background was before going to college.
Yeah. So for me, before I left Jamaica to go to college, like, my mindset was like, because I was at Ballaz and stuff, like, I had a mindset of, should I go to pro or should I go to college? Because, you know, you're gonna always need your college, your degree in the future after soccer. So I always had that mindset, like, should I go to college or should I go to pro? But I always was like training hard as usual and stuff like that. But that was basically the mindset, like, what's the best decision for me and what's the option I'm gonna take.
All right. What about your high school days? I mean, what any highlights of maybe just your time at JC? Any one highlight that you remember specifically that you can share with us?
Well, the best moment being at Jamaica College was when I was captain of the team and we won the triple crown. We won the Oliver Shield, the Manning Cup, and the Walker Cup, which was it was like a few years back before we have done it. And being the captain of the team and doing that again, like, it was really a good accomplishment and a good feeling for me, knowing that I'll be taking off to college or making a big decision soon. And it was just like great for me, that knowing that I was the captain, leading the team, leading from the front, and just going in there week out, week in, and just performing at my best.
Okay. Greg, if you want to come in at any time and ask a question, feel free, right? Maliek, what the other important highlight for you, obviously, in watching you was the opportunity that you had to play for Jamaica, and also getting to the point where you're the captain of the national under 20 team. Something which I understand, being a captain on the 20 team when I was playing. So obviously you and I have had a lot of discussions and talks about that. But what was it like, one, putting on the national colors? What was it like playing for Jamaica and that whole experience that you had. That would be great for you to share with us.
Yeah, and again, like from growing up as a kid, like it's one's dream to represent their country. It's one youngster dream in Jamaica growing up from 12, 13, always wanting to be a part of the national team. Me being in, I was once a part of the team when I was really younger, and I didn't make the final cut, and that was like a push for me. And then I keep driving, I keep going, I keep working hard, keep training, and to be wearing the colors, it's like I feel like it's something great and something to be grateful for, because it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, and not everyone gets the chance to represent the country. Like also along the way, like it has gave me a lot of more experience and more exposure. It makes me a more confident player to like when I go out there every day, like outside of the national when it's international time or when it's college time, because I'm in college. It gives me that confidence to make me feel like I have exposure, I have confidence playing against top teams in the U20s or in U17s, and knowing that I've been playing for so long, like I just gain confidence from it, and it's a great feeling to represent my country.
Yeah, obviously, you've had a number of teammates. I was at the tournament that you guys played in Bradenton. You played against Mexico. Um, you shared some stuff with me then, and we kind of watched and saw the difference between like a Mexico team and a Jamaica team. But what would be something that you'd want to see changing for our football here as you represent the country? And not to go into the details, but there obviously as a player you like to see some things differently. You can probably share what you think that could be.
One of the main things for me, I would say that I think for me as a young player growing up in Jamaica and for others that's coming up, I think we need to continue to be teaching to be more technical, very technical and tactically smarter, because that's a key component to like playing at the next level and playing against these top teams like Mexico. You have to be really disciplined when you're playing against a more quality opponent, knowing that every move, every time the person moves, you have to be on him. You can't turn your eye off. You can't slip, because if you slip, these teams will come at you and just like that they could score just like that. So you have to be really disciplined and tactically smart and stuff like that. And those games kind of like round us into a more like rounded play, like make us get this idea of what it is like playing against like top players that are elite, that are professionals, and we that are amateurs and not professionals yet get that chance to play against them. It's like really a good experience too.
Yeah, so I mean some very good words there, Maliek, obviously sharing. Definitely playing at the highest level, you get to understand that the levels that we find ourselves competing against at times, it blows our mind to know that we can compete with them to an extent, but there are some deficiencies that we have. And obviously, Maliek touched on the discipline and being tactical and the technical in nature. Those are stuff that we constantly have to be working on. And as a coach, we're trying our best to create better environments for that. But that's some good points there, Maliek.
Like also like I believe like another thing that I believe that we should do in making the football better, as you asked to, I didn't think I really touched into it a lot, but I think like we should start implementing like a system of play from you. So you have the U17s, the U20, the U23s, the senior team. I believe that if every single age group plays the same system of play, like you could take one player from the U15 to the senior team just like that, because if everyone is playing the same system and this younger player at 15 years old or 17 years old is manipulating the system that you have that the first team is playing to, if he could carry out that task well or that job well, then he definitely could do it in the first team. And that's how you could know if a player is improving, or how you could find or recruit players, because you have a specific system and a formation or a way how you play. But it's not necessarily a formation, but like a system, a network how you play. You know what I mean? So if we could do that, like I think that would start making us a better player, because like I'm saying, if the first team is playing a specific way, like say they invent a specific system of play, like how the ball is supposed to be played, and at the U17 they're playing the same way. I believe that's a way how then you could take a youngster from the U17 just like that and bring him to the first team and be like, could you do the same thing that you're doing at U17 at this level? But it won't change because it's the same dynamics that he has been doing in U17. Is it that it's the same dynamics that he would need to be carrying over in the senior team? But it's just that he would be playing at a faster pace or a higher level, which gradually or over time he will get used to. But he will be still doing the correct things, the right thing, being disciplined, and just carrying on the same function. And I think that's the way we should start looking, and that's the way we should start making like the change in being tactically smarter and technically sounded. Like you have to be technically sounded, doing stuff like that. And that's the way I believe like our football is starting to grow and stuff like that. If we have a specific system, everyone playing the same system. Once a player could carry out the system or he's doing very good in that specific era, you could then take him at if he's 15, bring him at U17. If he's dominating at U17, bring him at U23s. If he's 15, 16. And that's how players could get marketed and more players could be seen and the football will rise. That's what I believe. So that could be addition to what we need to do in Jamaica to take players' game to the next level and make us be just like a Mexico. Like when we go up against them, they have to know that Jamaica is just as good as them. Very disciplined, very structured, and we have a way we're going to play them to come out successful.
Yeah, I mean the comments across are confirming that as well. You know, that those are things that we definitely have to do. I know that there's a lot that's being done to do. It might be very individual academies and clubs that are attempting to create some more structure that potentially will do exactly what you are saying there, Maliek. So it's a very, very good point. We do have a few questions coming in, and so thank you for those who are sharing the questions. It's helping us to really get some more out. So Richard is asking you, Maliek, specifically, is there any insight into the challenges that you faced in college or anything that came as a surprise to you on and off the pitch?
All right, so yeah, I would say like in college, like leaving Jamaica, playing Manning Cup, it's a whole different infrastructure. You know, you have different people. It's not just the same kind of rate. It's not, you have people from all over the world. Coaches think different, and so you for me personally, I'm gonna tell you that yeah, you will face adversity, like, but you have to just deal with it because it's just like if you want to go to the professional level, it's nothing is gonna be paved in the way that you plan. So sometime when you go, sometime when you go and switch to the college level, that's why you have to be coachable too. I didn't mention that you have to be a player that's coachable. Like I switch from one school to the next. Doesn't mean the school is going to play in the way that you want to play or the way that you're best to play. It doesn't change that you're a good player. But it's that you're going to have to apply yourself in a way that you have to make this team successful, but not... Sorry, I don't know why my voice is doing that. But you're going to have to put yourself in a way that you have to make the team successful. It's no longer about you no more. Even though you want to reach to the next level, and you want to go to the next level, if they tell you that you have to play this way, you have to manipulate it. That's just what you have to do. So you have to be coachable. So coming from Jamaica, the way we play, like most teams would play the same in Jamaica. Everybody plays the same to me. Not really like the high quality teams. Everyone plays the same, but at the collegiate level, where you have like a ranked number 1 team going against a ranked number 70 team, you know that they're gonna play the ranked number 1 team, just like at the top level, which I'm learning right now. They would be like keeping the ball a lot more, while the ranked 70 team is gonna be trying to play off a counter attack because going to the game they know that this team is better. So the game is totally different for you. It's no longer where you could pass around the ball, you're gonna have the ball a lot, you won't. So then the coaches, sometimes you could play direct, you could play counter attack, and that's just how the soccer. You just have to live with it, you know. You're not going to always be in a situation where you're comfortable or it's going to be the way or you plan it or you pave it. Like some games, everybody knows that I'm an attacking fullback. I always want to be in the attack, but sometimes like if you go somewhere it's adversity, you're just going to have to put yourself in a situation to learn and be better and still be good at what you're doing. You know what I mean? Because not everything is going to be the way you want it to be. If you are the team that they like that you are attacking, they recruit you for attacking, but no, they see that you have a good ability defending you, and they're like, I want you to cut your amount of time and start attacking. I want you to start working on just defending and keeping that defense line solid and that line together. So you can't concede any goal. That's what you're gonna have to do, and that's just how it is. You know what I mean? So it's just adversity, and you face it at the next level too, like college, professional. And you just have to live with it because you want to be successful. You just yourself apply yourself and learn from it and grow from it.
Yeah, thanks for that, Maliek. We have shooting. We have another question.
Let's see that.
So this has a lot to do with the balance that is required within football. But Maliek, traveling, playing games, and at the same time having to the school. Question here from Damien is: do you think that all schools should have an educational program to help players to make up for the lost time in traveling to games or playing games? And that this would give the players a better chance to marry sport and education and get scholarships. So if you can look at your high school experience, do you think an educational program to support student athletes would help you to position you better to get scholarships?
Definitely so. Like it would help you, but at the same time, you have to remember that we are human beings, we are people, and not everyone is not every player or every person in the world is gonna be gifted to just go to class and just be able to sit down and just do work, even though the system is provide for them. You know, you could have good players, but school is just like they can't just go in a classroom or just sit down and just like be getting taught and work, because you know some people could come from a background where it's different. You know, not everybody's gonna come from a more structured family, a more structured background where they could be able to go in a classroom and they just listen to the teacher teaching and yeah, they're getting everything in, they're learning. But while there's a next person coming from an era where there's nothing going on for him at his house, he's facing like a lot of bad stuff happening. So I don't want to necessarily go at anybody, but you know what I mean. Like you could be in an era where it's dangerous. So when you come to class or you go to school, like your mindset is not there. So it's not everybody, and you're a good soccer player, but it's just that it's not everybody is gonna work for everybody. It is gonna be able to go in a classroom and just sit and listen to a teacher and then pass an exam like that. It doesn't change the fact that they're gifted at something, you know. So even though the system it could be provided, sometimes it still won't necessarily change the fact that some people it's still adversity. Like I'm telling you, some people is just gonna still not gonna do good. You know what I mean? Because of how their background is and the challenges they're facing. So soccer would have to be their way out. For like me, I could do school and still be fine. Some people like there are others people like me that could manage school and still be able to come out successful in like the classroom with the education provided. But I think it would still be good. But at the same time, you still find people that won't use it because of adversity or what they're facing in their background or stuff like that. You know?
Yeah, I mean that's a excellent point, Maliek, and thanks for the question, Damien. I think it points to just how we view education. We definitely have to look at education beyond just the confines of the classroom. As Maliek said, a number of student athletes come with different backgrounds, and based on the backgrounds, they are able to have certain degrees of success, and so therefore Damien, your point of even creating an educational program could have various elements to it, which is to help the different players. Some persons, how they learn is different. I think the education system has failed our athletes. So, you know, they are good ballers from primary school and them get by with deficiencies, and they get by in first form, second form, third form, and they keep getting by until them buck up into these exams where they have to take, and you realize that they're struggling. And I think we have to do an early assessment, find out what the deficiencies are, provide that educational support background. It comes at additional cost. But when you think about someone who's never ever gotten an opportunity, or their family is not from that environment where they get opportunities to go to college, who gets the opportunity to now go to college, gets a degree, can now, go and get a job and start a family and a life. You have to recognize the value in it. It's an investment that we need to make, and it might seem biased from me as a coach or a student athlete myself, is recognizing that is an investment that we should give up. That's an investment that we should be able to think about, because they do have an ability, and how do we support them and give them an opportunity to be better. So as Damien is saying, yeah, the educational support gives them an additional chance to take something out of it and to get a scholarship. So that's a very, very good point, and we definitely need to do more in that area. Big up Mr. Mo Young, big up Jelani, big up to all of you guys. You guys have so much also experiences to share about college. Greg, you
Yeah.
hearing us?
So Maliek, yeah, man, can you hear me?
Yeah, man, go ahead.
Maliek, how you doing?
I'm doing good, guy.
Yeah, you look good, man. Anyway, question I have for you is, so for a high school student now that have aspirations to play in college and they have options to play in college, is it important that they understand the style of play that the college that they're going to make sure that it fits their style of play? Because a lot of times I think sometimes players would go to a college just to go and have no clue of the style of play, and they go there and they suffer. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I believe that's so true. I think that's something that could be starting to take into consideration, because many of these college teams, you probably know too, like some play direct, some play counter attacking, some play possession football. You could be taking like a player like, say for instance, a Tyreek McGee. If you take a Tyreek McGee and put him in a system that plays direct, you're not gonna see his true talent. You're not gonna see success. If you take a player like a Norman Campbell from my high school, that they know these are guys that likes to keep the ball at their feet, and you bring them in a system that plays direct or corner attacking, which is more it's different to them. You're not going to be successful. You're not going to see their true talent. You're not going to see what their real potential and capability are. So I believe that this is something that needs to be taken into consideration going forward. Like, is this school playing the way you want to play, or is this school, are you satisfied with how they're gonna be playing? Because I'm telling you, sometimes it could get on the player's mind, like, I don't play like this, I don't want to play like this, like the way you guys are playing, like, you know what I mean? It's something that you're gonna, moving forward, people just start taking into consideration, because you could go somewhere that doesn't make you a better player or more successful, completely changing your game. But at the same time, you could not be given a scholarship, and it's the only scholarship you have. That's what you call adversity. You have to just go there, apply yourself, and carry out the task well, and apply yourself, and put yourself in a situation, know that if I can't do this, I'm going to have to learn to do this. Because it's just like the professional. If you get a contract, they play a way you don't play. You're going to have to go there. You want that contract. This is your dream. You're going to go there, put yourself in the situation, and be like, I'm going to carry out the task every day, coach. If I'm not doing, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep learning. I'm going to keep training. I'm going to keep working hard, because that's your dream and that's your goal. And nothing is going to be paved the way you want it to. You're just going to have to work your way out and work your way up the ladder. And that's just it for me, I believe.
Yeah, very good point. Because as you said, you mentioned, so you mentioned a key point there. If you don't have an option and you only have, you don't have a lot of options, but you have one, then I think the one that you choose before you go there, you should definitely know the style of play, get an idea of what the coach is thinking, the way he plays, and before you get there, you should start thinking about, okay, how am I going to adapt and change my game to suit that system? Because a lot of time, even again, for myself playing professionally, I signed with a club with that not in mind, and I went to the club, and as a striker, my job is to score goals, and that's all I do. But the pro coach looked at me and said, stop worrying about scoring goals, you need to defend. And that happened at the pro level. Being at a big club at a pro level in the US. So it happens. But my ignorance, at the time, is a pro club, it's a big club, it was a very successful club. I didn't expect that. That was never a thought of mine, but it happens. As you said, wherever you go, make sure you know what you get involved with, know the coaches, know the style of play, know the assistant, know the players that are there before you get, because it would affect your growth. You know what I mean? You have aspirations to play at this level, and you end up in a system where it don't fit, and you don't become you don't develop. So it's very important.
All right, guys. It is obviously we're going to keep talking. We're obviously getting a lot of insight from Maliek. Very, very important. I think it's one thing to talk about something, but it's another thing to have the experience itself. And so what Maliek is sharing to our audience is his own personal experience, what's happening for him, and how he got to where he is at the moment. And I'm sure we're going to hear some more from Maliek, but I have an opportunity to introduce our next guest right now, and as I said, Maliek is currently in college. My next guest is Kameron Simmonds. I have to declare up front that Kameron is actually Gregory's daughter. But more than that, she has her own identity. She is a Owntouch Mentee. She goes to school now. She goes to James River High School. She plays for Richmond United. She has a number of different things that I'm sure she's going to share with us, but I just want to highlight a few things. But she's first team all region at the high school in 2019. She was first team all state. She was also the regional player of the year in 2019. She was the team's most valuable player in 2019. Kameron was recently invited to the Jamaica national under 17 team, and she has aspirations to be one of the best female players in the world. And we are delighted to have Kameron share with us her own experiences in high school, now wanting to go to college. So I want to welcome Kameron to our live.
Thank you.
Big up Kameron Simmonds.
So Cam, we just want to know a little bit about you. Can you just share just who is Kameron Simmonds? Give us a glimpse into this bright and promising star.
So I pretty much started playing soccer when I was 12. That is very, old to start playing. But I started off on, the travel teams, like the lower travel teams, and I just kind of took off with it. I noticed that this was not where I wanted to be. So, as years go on, just about 2 years, I started to make the top team. And then I got invited to try out with Richmond United, which is ECNL. And once I was training with them for a little bit, I tried out, I made the team. And right now I'm playing U17. That was my first year of ECNL was U15. So if you do that math, that's 3 years. So I just feel like all of that just really made me the player who I am, and that's why I was able to sort of excel to become the player who I am today, getting invited to train with the Jamaica national team, those titles. But I feel like at the end of the day, the main thing is, the hard work, and that is what, gets you those titles and the recognition. So, yeah.
So Kameron, obviously we are pretty diverse in the discussion tonight. So we have obviously Maliek coming from Jamaica, going to college. You are in the US and then about to go to college. Some of the terms that you're using might be very new to us here in the Caribbean. So just to break it down a little bit, can you explain to us what is ECNL and what role that plays in US soccer, so that we can have an appreciation for your path?
Yeah, so ECNL stands for Elite National. It stands for Elite Club National League, and that is basically, there's 2 leagues for girls. It's the DA and the ECNL. The DA recently folded. So what the ECNL does is the main purpose of what their goal is to get players into college. It's kind of just the elite league for girls in the US as of right now. So, there's nothing higher than the ECNL. So that is, top players, top clubs, it's all through that.
Okay, great. So, Kameron, what has been your journey like? So obviously you're preparing to go to college. Give us a glimpse into your thought process, your preparation, all of it in terms of what you have to do now as a high school student looking to go to college.
So as of right now, I am in 10th grade, obviously looking to go to college and play. And, that's sort of my main goal right now. But my biggest thing, what I'm doing right now is, just researching, staying very open, also keeping up the grades, because that is definitely the biggest part. You can't, be a top player but not get the grades. So because that's what colleges look at. They look at your GPA, they look at how you are as a player and how you are in the classroom. So as of right now, starting Monday is when colleges can reach out and just talk. So the rule before that, the NCAA AA rule was that they couldn't talk to you until your junior year. So basically that'll is where I'll be going next year. But as of right now, what I'm just doing is staying very open, doing my research, looking where I'd like to possibly play. I dreams to play at a top school, play, not even just play, but go to a top school. And obviously looking at the majors, because, the life after college is very important. Obviously, the goal is and the dream is to go play pro, but I have to make sure that, I'm being very proactive and making sure that wherever I go, will give me the opportunities to just be successful after college.
All right. Simone, you know her background better than us, so to get some stuff more out of Cam, what are some things that you think we should hear about Cam's background and just her whole football thing that would be beneficial to us, especially as it relates to women's soccer and the growth of women's soccer around the world?
So the first thing I'll ask Kameron is, why did you start playing the game so late? And your parents, I'm a football fanatic. Everybody, we watch football all the time. Soccer is our life. But why did you decide to play at such a late age?
Well, before I started playing soccer, I was doing gymnastics just for fun. But it wasn't until I watched, was it I forget the year, but the World Cup, not the last one, but the one before that, I just watched and I was like, wow, like that's sort of where I wanted to be. So after watching that, I just set a goal, and that was to play. And ever since then, I kind of decided that. But, like he said, he played soccer in college and played pro. He never forced that on me. And I feel like that's what helps me the most, because in the youth, we don't know what we want to do. We're just kind of doing stuff for fun. But, I couldn't be more grateful that he didn't, push me to do that. And then I kind of developed that on my own, because developing that love and the passion for the game myself just helped, that helps my drive. Because if I didn't and I was just forced into it, I wouldn't want, to go out and train every day like I am. It's the heart that's in it, and that comes straight from the player. So, I'm so lucky that he was a pro player and college player, because, that obviously also plays a humongous role in who I am, the player I am. But, starting late, it's not easy for everyone. And, it wasn't easy for me. But like I said, at the end of the day, the player and the heart, that's what takes you far.
Yeah, so the other big piece for me that I want, what Kameron said, it's very important that you have your child or anything, that it's an individual thing. You have to gain your own passion for whatever you want to do. It has to be your own passion for you to really be successful. So I think that was a key piece, and that's why I asked that question, because I think our hearers or listeners need to hear that. And the other one, quick, Kameron, that stood out to me is we went to Jamaica. Jamaica played the US, I think, at Philadelphia, and me and you went to that game. That's before you started to play.
Yeah.
And you remember what you said to me during the game?
I said I'd be playing for Jamaica one day.
You said you play for Jamaica one day. You want to play in front of a crowd at this level, and I was like, "You just said a word. You just said a word, and I'll help you." So, again, the main point is that once that passion kicks in, you can't do anything. We cannot be successful in life without a passion for something. So that's why I think Kameron is on the right path, because she gained that passion for the game, the love for the game, and that's why she's so willing to train and put in the work every day on a daily basis. So next question, Cam, is, so you said Monday is the day that the colleges are going to be able to call. What would that day look like?
Well, what I believe it would look like would just start to finish, first thing in the morning till, the evening, just receiving calls from colleges. And for me, I feel like I'm going to have to be able to balance that. But who to pretty much just who to talk to, and you don't want to overlap. So that day will be pretty hectic. But I'm ready. I've done my research. I know who I want to hear from, and who I would just enjoy to see call. But like I said, that day will be very hectic, but I'm ready and I'm excited. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you have any more for her? Are you there? So Cam, another one is what is your currently right now? So obviously with the COVID, you haven't been able to train with your team. What is your training schedule look like on a daily basis, on a weekly basis? What does it look like now that you're in the off season?
So it's honestly, due to COVID, it's been rough because right now I'd either be at nationals right now for UCNL, but every day, I wake up 10:30 session with my father and some other teammates, but it's every single day. Every morning we're just going first thing in the morning, and then in the evening I have to run because um, I'm from Jamaica. I'm getting some fitness work. The coach has given me fitness work to do each day, and I have to record my times. But it's a never-ending thing. If you want to be best, like how I want to be, there's no off days. You know what I mean? So training every day because it's important to keep working with the ball at your feet, and then also staying in shape because whenever we are able to get back on the field and compete again, it's really up to the player to make sure that they were doing what they needed to do to be ready.
Okay.
All right, great. Cameron, a question that came was, what is, let me make sure I have it. What position do you think is your third position? What do you think is your best spot on the field based on the qualities that you have?
I've had experiences at center back and at forward. The year 2019 was when I played center back for Richmond United in high school, and I did get a lot of recognition and those titles for that. As of my best position, I would have to say forward, anywhere at forward. My mind is to go to goal all the time, and that's what helps me score 25 goals this season. And that's the thing for me. I like to be very direct. I love to blow by players and beat players one-on-one, go to goal and score. So being Jamaican, obviously I have that fast, explosive gene, but that definitely helps me the most. So I feel like anywhere up top, either it's on the wing or in the center, because I can, still hold up play and, create goals and not just score them, but anywhere in the attack, really, I feel like is my best position that shows me the best.
All right, so we have a question from one of our teammates asking this question. Is your dad one of those sideline coaches that screams at you, or he's just very reserved and quiet on the sideline?
So if I'm having a horrible game, that's when he sits down and be quiet. He does give me instruction, I feel like, but it's all good. Like I don't take it in a bad way. It's actually very, very helpful. I definitely kind of look to him a little bit more than I probably should, being the player, but he's a little bit of both. Yeah.
Okay. So that's a fair enough question. All right, so we have some questions for Cameron and Maliek. Just trying to just get a full glimpse into just both of you and your involvement. So what we were able to do a while ago was to get to hear from a high school student athlete preparing to go to college and all of what that comes with. And obviously you represent so many other people, Cameron, who are dreaming about going and playing at college. And then we heard from Maliek, who is currently there. But you both are individuals. You both have been mentored by Owntouch, by Ballaz. There's a lot that we believe that you guys have the capacity and have the potential to go to the next level, but other people need to hear what it takes for you to get to where you are. And so we just have a few questions that we're just going to shoot out to you guys, and you guys can just answer individually. But I'm going to go to you, Maliek, and then Kameron, the same question you can answer after. Maliek, what motivates you to do what you do?
To be honest, just like growing up as a kid, like my family, seeing how much players played professional soccer when they play soccer for a living, the way I grew up and the lifestyle of the things that I didn't have and the things that I want to have in the future, and just setting a foundation for my future family and helping out my family previously. So that's really that's really what motivates me the most, like my family, my future family, and just the way I've grown, not having stuff and wanting stuff and just seeing my uncles, cousin playing soccer and stuff like that. So that's just my drive.
All right, Kameron.
Mm-hmm. In my household, we all play soccer. My brothers, my father. So that motivates me a lot to go work out and do what's needed in order to achieve my goals. But also just knowing that God gave me a talent, which was to play soccer and at the best that I can. So I feel like, if I wasn't pursuing and going for it, I feel like that would just be a waste. And, you have to make the best of what you have. And, I was given this God-given gift. So I feel like that also motivates me, but also just having such a supportive family, my mom, my dad, grandparents, uncles, aunts, even Uncle Andre. I think that also motivates me, just being raised around the game, live and breathe it. It just, I'll always keep going.
All right, before we go to the next question, I have a question from Kevin. Do you feel under some pressure knowing that your dad was successful on all levels and that you have to somewhat live up to this Simmonds reputation? Does that play at all in your head?
Well, that's a good question, because I feel like, if you look at LeBron and his son playing, like, people sort of compare that, but I feel like, I have my own drive and my own passions and, what I want to achieve. And I feel like I don't really feel pressure in that sense, but it's definitely, having the last name Simmonds, I have to, always sort of excel and be above average. But it's something that, it's always in the back of my mind. I always have to represent the family and, where I've come from, where, I was bred. So, yeah, I mean, it's all love, but, I don't really feel that pressure just to go, but I'm confident. So
Great. Maliek, we have a question here from you from Leighton. How do you avoid distraction and stay focused at college?
Well, at the moment, like, I have a girlfriend, so that's the number one. I'm not really out partying and stuff, and I have a drive and a goal and an ambition, So like, I don't really see myself, like, from I was younger, I wasn't really distracted. I'm not a party type of person. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do anything wrong, like bad to cause any problems. So from I was younger, like, my mindset was just made up, and I know that this is what I want and this is what I'm going at. So nothing can distract me. Like, I don't get distracted easily. Like, probably you'd say the only distraction would be, like, I would play my video game, but I still get my schoolwork done, I still be on top of training. But that's probably the only thing that could be a distraction for me. But it's not. There's nothing I think would distract me right now from my mindset and the path that I'm on or what I want to achieve.
So, I mean, Maliek, that's obviously great to hear, but we know that distractions are there and there are many. So what advice then would you give to someone who's coming to an environment that the distractions are around them? You mentioned girls, you mentioned the smoking, the drinking. These are distractions, real distractions for student athletes. And I mean, we can think about this and comment after Maliek as well. But Maliek, maybe you can, share what could be some pointers or some words of advice for persons who are going to face this kind of distraction. What is it that they need to be mindful of?
Well, I would say for in college, like, for me, like, first time I came here, I remember, like, you'd have people that would be smoking a lot around you, and people were gonna be wanting to party a lot, because I believe, like, in America, like, the college kids, they just want to just have fun. Majority of them, they just want to have fun. They just want to live a college experience life, and that's what it is for them. So you in yourself would have to know, like, you know what you want, but sometimes they could lead you astray. Things could lead you astray, but you just have to be strong and just know that, like, know what's right from wrong, know what you want and what you don't want. You know what I mean? Sometimes people could do things, but if they could only get you to do it if you want to do it. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. You know what I mean? So it's just, I just believe it's like you have to just be strong mentally and just be focused and know what you want and what's right from wrong. What's right from wrong. You know what I mean?
All right, Cam, what about you? What are some advice you can give for those distracting?
I would have to agree with that 100%. And also just in high school, because it's a little bit different. Just because, you still, are living at home and with your parents. But I feel like surrounding yourself with the right people who have similar goals and aspirations as you do, meaning like your teammates or just whoever has a goal and a path that they want to follow, surrounding yourself with those type of people will get you very far. But like, the smoking and the drinking, that's very trendy for high school and college students. But, once you know what you want to do and you know what will, make that hard or just what will help you, I feel like that also helps it also, us being student athletes and knowing that could get us in trouble or even just, deter our playing abilities. I think it's just important that we know that is not good for us. But again, surrounding yourself with good people.
Yeah, I agree with that point too. Like we like going to college. That's definitely something that you want to do too. Like coming from Jamaica, the type of friends that you meet, you want to meet people that are uplifting, people that want to be successful, people that are helping you to be better, people that are helping you to be great and achieving what you want to. I think that's a really good point too. Like you have to surround yourself with people that you see that are healthy people that want to be successful, people that want to do good, people that want to be great. Because not all the time that's in here in America. Not all the time college kids are focused and know what they want. Like they're kind of young, just coming from high school. They just want to live, enjoy life, enjoy college. So you got to just pick and choose like the right people that you talk to and surround yourself with. Like that's really true. You have to surround yourself with people or good people.
Yeah. We have another question coming in from Kevin. Maliek, how did you find adapting to the move from Jamaica to attend college? And do you have family and friends where you are?
It wasn't really difficult for me. Not saying it was easy, but like I would miss my family. I miss Jamaica as Jamaica, But growing up as a kid, this is something that I always wanted. This is something that I always dreamed. This is like another step for me reaching where I want to be. And because I want to be a professional player, college is just preparing me being away from my family or being away from my friends or things that I love, I want to do. It's just preparing me for that next level that I'm gonna have to be at, because at some point in time, like you're gonna be away from your family. Like, if you're a soccer player, what are you gonna do? You're gonna crumble. You're gonna be like, I miss my family. I can't do this. No, you gotta be strong. You gotta be like, you know what you want. You know your family love you. They care for you. You could talk to them over the phone and stuff like that. Probably won't mean anything to some people, but some people want to be closer to them. But it would still be the same. Just connect with them, talk to them, and just keep going, because you have to have adversity in everything that you do. I won't stop emphasizing it. And you just have to be strong mentally and know that you're gonna do it and this is what you want to do. Because not because they're not there with you spiritually, they're probably there with you, they're probably praying for you, they're probably praying you never know. You just have to just be strong and just continue working hard and knowing that not because they're not there doesn't mean that things are bad. It's just something that you have to do.
All right, great. You guys are obviously the next generation. You guys are, who are going to be looking and watching, playing the sport for years to come. And so, us asking you the questions is really giving others a platform to hear from you. So, we really appreciate the responses and how open and transparent you guys are with your comments. I really appreciate that. It's really what we want our young athletes to really appreciate and to understand. We're not asking for perfection. but we really have to recognize what we want out of life and to recognize that, as Kameron said, God gave us a gift. Is what we do with that gift that really pleases Him. And to see you guys obviously putting the best foot forward and trying the best that you can, it's definitely admirable, and we just want to keep encouraging you guys on that path. We want to move in for some more questions. So one question I have here is, what has been your greatest challenge or setback, and how did you overcome it? Start with Kameron.
Obviously, like how Maliek was saying, how there's adversity and a little bit of everything, but one of my toughest challenges I've had to deal with is kind of unique, but it's something called vocal cord dysfunction, and that is basically where I'm on the field and I'm exerting myself and my vocal cords just decide to close rather than open to let me breathe. And, for a while it was really bad where I'd fall out on the field and have to, be rushed off and to get my inhaler. But, it wasn't that. It was the thing that was more difficult about it was because we didn't know that was what it is. For 2 years I was treated for asthma and, nothing was helping. It wasn't until one of my teammates' mothers who specializes in that was like, I'm not quite sure this is asthma, but I just feel like that was the toughest thing for me because, obviously being watched by college coaches, that looks like you're not fit. And, that's sort of the opposite of how I am, you know what I mean? So just having to kind of deal with it, because now it's a lot better. I play 90 minutes on the field, and it's just as I get older and know how to maintain it and deal with it and calm myself down, I feel like that has probably been the toughest thing. But overcoming, just understanding what it is and praying and getting special help, I think that is how I overcame it.
What about you, Maliek?
Repeat, coach.
What has been your greatest challenge, obstacle, setback that you've had in your career so far, and how did you overcome it?
I would say when I played against Japan the other day, that was like a big setback for me, knowing that we lost so badly and the performance of how we played as a team and stuff. Like, I believe like I didn't expect that. So I believe like that kind of put me back a bit to be like looking back at myself more, seeing what I need to work on and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I think that would be like one of the biggest setbacks for me and the biggest disappointment for me in a long while.
Okay. All right. We have some other questions. Kashka is asking to describe what your typical routine is like preparing for game day, whether it's pre-game and post-game. I mean, either of you can do it because you are playing at a level that this is important, but to give a glimpse into what a typical, how you prepare for a game and what happens after a game. Maliek, you can share, and then Kameron.
To give a typical, I didn't hear the last part because
what's your typical routine in preparing on game day? So pre-game and post-game, what does that look like for you as a college student right now, or even as a national player?
So the first thing I'll do is I'll wake, pray, then I would have breakfast at like early in the morning. I try to get a good sleep from the day before, having a lot of fluids. Hydration have to be up. So I drink a lot of fluids so I'm not dehydrated in the game. And then after that, after breakfast, I'll probably take a nap, if not just keep staying up. And then like 7 to 8 hours before the game, I'll go like on a walk or something. I'll try to move around a little bit, not staying too much in bed, And then like 2-3 hours before the game, you'd have meal, then prepare and start getting your mindset ready. Like it's game time, Not saying you haven't gotten your mindset ready, because for me, I don't get my mindset ready on the game day. Like, especially if it's a big game, like I get my mindset like days before the game, visualizing the game, trying to see the game, seeing what I'm going to do, who are my opponents, what am I going up against. I start doing that like days before. I don't really wait on the day to start visualizing the game. I visualize the game before, but like at specific time of the day, then I start tuning, listening to music, trying to get me in the mood and the vibes to just go out there and get cracking.
What about post game? Like what happens after the game? So that's good to know before the game, but what happens after the game for you?
Then after the game, you go like at my school, you have like the recovery stuff, the bikes, the pool. Definitely after the game is an ice bath. you roll out, you stretch, then you could leave. But if you have any niggles or any bruises, you have to start. You have to get that seen before you could leave or go home. So sometime after the game, you'd have 2 hours still being at the facilities or still being at the game where the game has been played to just be looking on your body and working on your body. And then the next day you have to do recovery again, like biking out, running, light work, stretching out, foam rolling and stuff like that, and ice bath and contrast bath again after the game. And before the game too, like I would do a contrast bath sometimes. That's when it's hot or cold. So I would intertwine both and I'll bike a little bit, bike like 20 minutes, like an hour and a half before the game. I'll like bike a little bit, foam roll a little bit, contrast bath. So I go in the ice bath, then the hot bath, then the hot one. The hot one you have to do last because you can't go in the game with the ice bath. You have to go in the game like warm. So the hot one would be last. So I'll do that before I play and listen to music. That's it.
Oh, this is such important information. I hope the persons listening understand what this next level is. And there's no reason why we can't have this in Jamaica for athletes, but it's some work that we need to do. But thanks for sharing that, Maliek. That's insight into the next level, definitely. Cameron, what about you?
Playing ECNL, we don't have the same technology and the people specific for recovery. But how my week sort of looks is 4 days of training and 2 games on the weekend. So obviously, the night before a Saturday game, it's getting as much sleep as possible. And our games are sometimes at different times. That might be first thing in the morning or at noon. But so for my schedule looks a little different, but I would say the main thing is eating well, sleeping well, and like Maliek was saying, preparing, the mindset, know who you're going against, know what you have to do to prepare yourself, your mind. Some people need to listen to music. Some people, need to just meditate because, the game does get to you like that. So for me, it is what helps me a lot is good sleep and eating well, because as long as my legs feel good and I'll be ready to go, and usually play 90 minutes, so playing that first game and then right after you have to watch what you eat because I have a game the next day, you know what I mean? So having 2 games back to back, it gets tough just on your body and on your mind, but you have to maintain a good diet and sleep schedule because, for anything really, whether you're going to work or just school, but, the recovery, stretching, ice bath, even for me, I'll just go in my tub and do an ice bath, but it's very, very important because, you have to make sure you're ready to go for the next day. In college, I'm not sure that you have 2 games back to back, but it's very important that, you stay healthy because you do have a lot of games and training, so staying healthy is a big part of that.
Great. Some more questions coming in. Maliek, this question is for you. It's from Sonia. What are you currently studying, and what do you think are the benefits of getting a college degree?
I'm currently studying business management, but I'm probably gonna go into econ, like I told Coach out of the economics. But I believe it's good to have a college degree because there's life after soccer. You know what I mean? And like after soccer, you're gonna need something to fall back and something to do with your time and to continue providing for your family because as you know, money could finish and you could get hurt at any point in time in your life. So you got to keep making progress at every step of your life. So I do believe having a degree is really important, like to especially coming from Jamaica, having a degree would be something good, I believe, because you could always go back and fall back on your degree and then start. Oh, if you want to do business, you could start venturing into to marketing stuff or like opening companies or something. You don't know, but it depends on your budget and your salary and how much you have been saving in your investment that you could go back to and use. But you're gonna need a degree to go in that field or that work in here to maximize what you want to achieve after your career.
All right, so we're going to touch on that a little bit more in future conversations because Maliek is in a very unique situation, and we constantly talk about it, pray about it to try and see. He does want to play pro. He obviously chose to go to college, but obviously every day there's opportunities for him to leave college to go pro. and whether the right timing, should he go, should he stay? And that's a whole nother discussion that we will have on future lives. So listen out for that. But definitely hearing him express what it is currently is just because he's been guided and he's actually taking it, but he has a desire to want to play pro. And we know that, you know, the older he gets, that minimizes his opportunities and lessens it. So we're praying for the opportunity to give him good counsel and wisdom as to making that decision if he wants to make it. And so we'll discuss that on another conversation. Cameron, Sonia is asking you the same question, but going to college, what would you want to study?
So as of right now, I would love to study business and marketing, just because I feel like business has a little foot in sort of everything. You know, it can be an entrepreneur, like business owner. So I feel like that was what I want to do. You know, I want to be my own boss. But obviously, like we were saying before, pro is the goal, but it's very important to get that degree and have that, because like Maliek was saying, injuries, anything could happen. So business is definitely something that I'd like to study in the future.
All right, thanks. We have a question for you, Greg. So this question is for Gregory, and hopefully Gregory can answer. But from a parent of a player, I have a son who wants to play football only, but he's also a good student. How do you help him make the decision as to what to do? Greg?
He got disconnected for some reason. So.
All right, so let's wait till he comes back in. I have some other questions for you. Maliek, who is your favorite footballer and why?
My favorite footballer is definitely gonna be Lionel Messi. But as you know, I'm a right back, so I tend to look on like every single right back, that from 6 years ago to 4 years ago to currently. But Lionel Messi is my best player because he's good on the ball. He creates a lot. Like he's just like a player that I've never seen before. The things he do with the ball it's magnificent. But for me, I can't take away the stuff that Lionel Messi does because he's an attacking player. I'm a defending player. But I still watch like the Kyle Walker, the Dani Alves in the past, the Pablo Zabaleta. I used to watch those players a lot growing up as a kid, and I try to manipulate stuff that they're doing to help my game. I try to gain knowledge from them because they are already in the environment that I want to be in. So I use the things they do to try and apply to my game and stuff like that. But currently I'm watching Alfonso right now. Davis, the left back. He's a left back, but his speed and stuff that he emphasized, he displays it's incredible. So I watch Alfonso Davis, which is a left back. I watch Kyle Walker right now, and I watch Alexander-Arnold from Liverpool at the moment. So I watch different players. Not saying I choose who's best, because sometimes for me, I don't really choose who's best because I'm a right back too, and I know I want to be one of the best. But there's a lot of good right backs out there that I could watch and learn from, and that's just what I do and try to manipulate the stuff they do. Because if I could manipulate the stuff they do and do it just as good as them or even better, I could definitely be in that spot or even take in their spot. So that's it for me.
All right, Cameron, what about you?
So in the Simmonds household, we are Manchester United fans. So my favorite player is definitely Marcus Rashford. I feel we play the same position, and I just admire how technical and how fast he is. Just knowing, watching him all the time is just something that I definitely look to and like try to play. Obviously, male and female soccer is totally different. On the female side, Marta from Brazil. I love just technical players. That's how I would like to be. It's one thing to just be able to push the ball and go, but being able to beat a player, first touch, everything like that is very important. And obviously working out at Owntouch and playing futsal, that helps me become as technical as possible, but those are definitely players I like to watch and, look up to. And so, yeah, those are my favorite players.
All right, so Cam, you spoke on something that I wanted to touch on, and because you mentioned it, I wanted to do. Obviously, there's a lot of benefit that you have you're able to gain from being a part of Owntouch, and being a part of obviously doing futsal. Can you speak to just the benefits that you see that having for you as a player? And then Maliek, you can talk about ballers and it benefit for you guys when you are where you are now. You look back at those days of training and being in that environment. So Cam, you can speak about Owntouch and futsal or RVA.
Absolutely. So that's one thing, that's probably the biggest thing, is what you do when you're not, just at club training or playing the game. It's what you do outside of it to get better. So for me, like how we touched on earlier, starting late, the extra days, even over the summer, because during the off season, those days training at Own Touch, and because the main mindset of Own Touch is to advance players individually, work on their pass and receive, first touch, how they play out of things, and futsal as well, because, you're on a small court, very quick, your mind has to be quick, your feet have to be quick. So both of those things have benefited me tremendously. I'm not sure that I'd be able to, be how I am without that. But like I said, it's very important what you do outside of the club or just, at college. I mean, I think it's a little different at college, but club training is 4 days a week and games on the weekend. But like during the off season, it's what you do then, because you got to come back even better than how you were. So on touch and futsal, like that's exactly what it's for, for the individual player.
Maliek.
Yeah, like I just listening to you, like I remember like the first time, like as a kid, when I went to the first, it was like a camp. Like ballers always keep like summer camps in the summer, and that was the first time I was like, no, I want to be a baller. So it was like when I was 11, 12, those ages, under 13 was going on. I was at Alba Vietnam, and I was like, I want to be a part of ballers because like I see like ballers as a vision. The things they do, like I think this is gonna help me to get to the next level, or this is gonna help my game. So like at that age, 12, 13, I started like going to ballers, talking to Coach Andre, and talking to like the guys that are my schoolmates that is a part of ballers. I'll talk to them, ask them questions, and then I got a part of ballers on a Saturday morning, and like it just went good from there. Like we did technicals upon technicals, and Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, we trained day in day out technical stuff, working on the fundamentals and getting me more tactical aware of like the soccer game, which I was never being exposed to at any other stage or level of my life, and I was starting to be exposed to it at this age. And I believe like I just started gravitating to it and just like putting myself in the situation to continue to learn and be better. And it made me where I am today because like I'm at University of Memphis, and I know for sure I'm a very technical player on the team because the things that I've been doing from I was 12, 13 with ballers, like the repetition upon repetition upon repetition, like it just made me into a more technical player, more sounded. Like I'm not afraid to do anything with the ball. I'm not afraid to for you to give me some technical drills and you see my technical ability, you see that I'm technical. You know what I mean? Just because of the foundation that Ballaz has set with me, like being there and just training day in, day out with coaches, Coach Andre, Coach Orlando, like it was just it's insane, and I'm grateful for it and I'll never forget it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and to sort of build off that, I feel like there's in Richmond, there's a lot of kids that want to play soccer, but it's really how you build off that, like I was saying before. But playing small-sided games at Own Touch and fast touches, going to goal, working on your finishing, working on first touch, working on that. It's about all of that, and like even like Maliek was saying, there was a lot of summer camps and stuff like that. But Own Touch that's what it's for. It's for to create players like that who, can go off and, out of a team, those are the ones that stick out, because just playing club soccer, like, okay, you may learn the game, but how well can you be at the game? So, Ballaz and Own Touch, that's what, their main goal is to do, just because, these players, like these kids, not a lot of them get, that sort of exposure. And so that's why they're both very important for anyone's development to play at high levels?
Yeah, obviously, since now I listen to Cam and to Maliek, Greg and I, we shared this in our first IG that, our life started together at prep school, and we went through high school and college and played pro national team. But it was in our heart, and what Owntouch is doing, what Ballaz is doing. Greg and I did not speak about doing anything. He had it in his heart, I had it in my heart, and it's so amazing to see him using us in this way that we'll be able to prepare an environment where persons like yourselves can benefit and articulate yourselves the way you are in terms of the benefits. This is not a plug for Ballaz or Owntouch. It really is just saying what is needed for players to improve. Anywhere you go, you could change the name Ballaz to another name, but it's so important. And we obviously take great pride in knowing that we're doing something that is making a difference in players, and hopefully we can see the fruit of it, in players like yourselves to continue to carry and to do well. So thanks for sharing that. Kameron, I know I could not come off the live without acknowledging that Grandma wants to big you up. Grandma Tony is bigging you up, and she said, please tell her now how proud we are of her maturity and ability to articulate her answers with intelligence, poise, and grace. She's representing our family well. You spoke about the support system, and I'm sure, but maybe you can just reference that now and just kind of say how important it is to have that kind of love and that kind of support. She's here on the live, listening and watching you. Share how you feel knowing that you have that kind of support.
Grandma, I love you. But having a support system is everything. It really is everything. I mean, you may have your passions and your goals, but it's, when your parents and grandparents and family, and when they all, put your best interests first and help you be as far or go as far as you want, like that is the, one of the main things becoming the best you can be, and a lot of people, they come up by themselves, and I respect that so much. But, just having that support system, when I'm hurt or nervous or going, like going to the Jamaica camp, I was very, very nervous, but, them always telling me to just be my best and do my best, and praying and just telling me to keep my mind right. That's the best, I couldn't ask for anything more.
Yeah. So I just have a few more questions for you guys. It's a little bit more just kind of the fun side to kind of get a little bit more from you. Albert, your question to Greg, he's not on, but as I mentioned in talking about Maliek, there is going to be a conversation more specifically towards those players who are in high school and considering going to college, but also have the option to go pro. And how do we make that decision, and how do we guide the players accordingly? So we want to get other players who went through that path and hear their experiences. Greg and I had that same thing. If you gave us a chance to leave college in our sophomore year to go play pro, we would be gone. We end up staying, and we have our story. But there are others who went to college and left and are playing pro, and there are others who did not go to college and went straight and played pro. And there are pros and cons, and there's a whole lot of information around that we want to be able to bring out and let people hear. So if Greg is not back on tonight to talk about it specifically, we definitely are going to have a chat with some other guests that's going to really bring some kind of more information around it. I don't think it's either or. I don't think there any one way is the right way. I think a lot of it has to do with the player. And even then, we understand that you could choose going one way and it don't work for you, but another person choosing it works for him or her. And so we'll open that discussion, and I'm sure it's going to be a rich discussion which will benefit all of us. So listen out for that. All right, so guys, as we get there, I asked a couple questions. I'm going to ask some more. Passion or talent?
Passion for me.
Passion, yeah, for sure.
Explain why. Why passion?
You want to go first? I mean,
I can go first. Well, just having that passion first and foremost, you can, like I was saying before, we were definitely given a gift, but if you don't have that, but you just have the mind to go out and train and get better, like that is everything. You don't have to have, you don't have to be the fastest, you don't have to be the most technical, but having that mindset and being passionate, just love what you're doing, that'll take you very far in anything you do, not just football.
yeah, I chose passion because I can remember when I was 11, 12, for sure. The first time I started juggling a soccer ball, I couldn't juggle to 20 or 50. And it wasn't the talent. It wasn't the talent at the time. It wasn't the talent at that time, for sure. I couldn't be able to do certain stuff that I'm be able to do now. And that's for sure just tell that it's not talent. It has to be passion. But my hunger, my passion, my dedication to wanting to go to 50, to wanting to go to 100, to wanting to go to 200, to know where I be able to juggle for an hour if I want to. That's passion right there. You have to have that passion and that dedication, and that's what drives you and keeps you going to be really successful. Because you could have the talent, but because you're so talented, you're more reliant and the things you want to do because you think your talent is just going to get you there. And so because you think you have the talent, you don't want to work harder. You don't want to be learned from, and you don't want to be coached by anybody. You think you know it all, and that's where your soccer starting to go down. Whereas if you had the passion, you keep driving, you keep succeeding, you keep elevating. You know what I mean? You keep going up each time because you have that passion, that hunger, and that drive to be better. More than where you have the talent, and because you have the talent, no one can talk to you, no one can control you. You feel like you could do what you want to, and so I'll just go with passion, 100% right there.
All right. I didn't know it was mom, but Maliek, your mom says she's proud of you and all of your accomplishments so far, and she knows that you'll excel in your endeavors because of your humility, your focus, your determination, and you're blessed and highly favored by God. Big up, mom. So that's mommy just giving you a shout out, Maliek. Really proud of you, and wants you obviously to do the best that you can do. So thanks for the support, mom. So maybe Maliek, you can talk. What's that kind of support, having a mom that believes in you and is right there beside you, supporting you?
Yeah, like my mom, she played a key role in everything I do. Like the things me and my mom talk about, the things me and my mom been through is another part of why I'm so hungry for success, why I'm so hungry for being successful. My mom, she plays a key role in my life. Like she's a Christian, she tried to not get me to be on the wrong path. She tried to always keep me focused and keep me grounded and keep me rooted. You know what I mean? She doesn't, if I'm trying to stray, she try to get me back in line and be like, Maliek, you know what you want. You know what I mean? Like that's my mom. I love her for all she have done for me. Like the way I grew, like I would not regret it. Like my mom, like she played a key role in my life. She do everything. She teach me stuff. She give me knowledge. She pray me up. She pray for me. She keep me going. When I feel down, she would cheer me up. Like anything I want to, I could go to her and talk to. Like she's that kind of person that I could go to any single time. And I'm grateful for that I have a mom like that.
All right.
Mom.
Yeah.
Someone had a question.
Yeah. So big up the parents and the mom. Big up Nicole and Greg for the work that you're doing with Cam or have done, and obviously bringing up family. Definitely very, very important. All right, so guys, we probably have another 10 or so minutes to go. I think it's important that we, as much as we're talking about college, there are just some things that I kind of want to talk to you guys personally about, or just to ask you. And this is about dreaming big, right? And I don't have no problem in dreaming big. But Cam, I'm going to start with you. Lifting the World Cup, and you had to make a victory speech. Give us a glimpse into what that could be.
Well, what a question.
We're dreaming big. We want to sit down and watch TV.
First and foremost, I would just recognize everyone who has helped me, be where I am today. This man, of course, family, my mom, my brothers. I would just give everything to them. You know what I mean? Like, there's just nothing better than loving, supportive family. Also, I mean, like, sure, I may have, the love and the passion for the game, but I feel like when you are the best you can be is when you have the best people in your corner. So I feel like if I was giving a speech, I'd have to recognize them. I'd have to give all glory and thanks to God, and just I'd probably be too shocked and emotional. But coaches, teammates, just everything, because the people are what really, people you surround yourself and have in your life around your journey, or what you take with you, and that's what gets you far.
Thanks, Cam. Maliek.
So the first thing I'll do, coach, I'll be like, the first person I'll give all the praise is God, for sure. Like, I'll be like, God, I thank you for this achievement in front of everyone. Like, without God, I wouldn't have been at the World Cup. I would have been at the final. Probably I would have been lifting the trophy. So the first thing I'll do is be like, God, I thank you for this one. I thank you for this opportunity. I give it to you. Then I'll thank my mom, my family, for always being there for me, for always making me be that hungry, that passionate person for me. I give dedication to the people that helped me to grow ball, as the coaches that talk to me, the mentors that I've had. I'll be like, thank you guys all for helping me, making me the player that I am today and achieving this accomplishment, being here to stand today and tell everyone, like, I'm so happy and overwhelmed, because this is everyone's dream, to lift a World Cup or be at the World Cup, and to know that I could lift it and be the winner. Like, it's something to be elated over. Like, I'll be very grateful, very happy, and just, I think that would be my speech. I'll probably even break down crying.
All right. So we're going to close with I did this with Maliek. So Cameron, I think you can just follow this after Maliek. I gave Maliek some words, and I asked him to finish the words or into a phrase, or whatever you want. So the first word I'm giving to Maliek is true.
Yeah, it's true blue, but for the reality of things, it's true blue, but it's true that along the way, like in life, people, like, everything is not gonna be the way you see it, or the way you pave it to be. Like, there's gonna be ups and downs, there's gonna be good days and bad days, but that doesn't change or make you, like, that doesn't change the fact that you can't be great, you can't be successful. So it's really true. That's true. That's my point of truth.
All right. I
am who God say I am.
Without
guidance, you can't be led astray.
If I knew then what I know now, I would.
If I knew then what I knew now, I would probably start using my left foot a lot more than I used to back then, and start making it like balance with my right, because probably I'll be able to be a more versatile player, a well-rounded player, if I was using my left foot from a younger age. But now, because I'm being more exposed and seeing that my left foot plays really a key factor, like, I'm working on it now. But when I was younger, if I used to just keep working on my left foot all the time, home, kicking balls, and instead of keep strengthening my right, like, I'll be such even more a better player than I am today. I could be anywhere on the field at any given time. I could move any single way. So if I knew then what I knew now, I would start working on my left foot back then.
All right, great. All right, Cam, over to you. So your word is true.
To yourself, because I feel like, if you know what your limits, and your drive, and your passions, stay true to that, and don't let what someone else or someone else's path, or when they started, or whenever. Just stay true to you and follow your path and achieve your goals.
All right, I
am strong, through starting the game late and a lot of adversities I'm going through. Just staying strong and staying strong mentally and physically, that helps you get through everything.
All right, without
without God, because just feeling the faith and the love from God, I feel like you wouldn't be able to achieve or what you have. Always having someone to look to talk to pray to. I feel like that's what gets through a lot.
All right, and finally, if you knew then what you know now, you would
Definitely start playing earlier. I feel like if I had started playing, around U8 when other people started playing, I'd be on, I'd probably, I don't know where I would be, but just a lot better than what, higher than what I would do now, and have a lot more abilities to just, excel.
all right. So, it definitely was one of those lives where, I sat down feeling very proud as a coach and as a parent. Obviously, Greg and I see the value in bringing to the fore experiences and to expose people. And what we really want to be able to do is to bring information to student athletes to allow for them to have an appreciation of what the process is like and how persons can with the right support and the right people around them really to make better decisions. Maliek did say that sometimes we get the only option to go to college. You kind of have to take it because that's what you get. But what we really want to do is to create an environment where you guys have opportunities, and therefore, you can choose. You can have an opportunity to choose to go somewhere as opposed to just taking what is given. Um, a lot of what you guys share today, I think, is some very, very useful information. It is real information. It's not something made up. It's actually your own life and what you guys are experiencing. So we really want to thank you guys for, again, being so open and to sharing your journey with us. We definitely are going to continue to keep engaged and keep following you guys. We do pray and wish for you God's blessing, that you guys continue to, keep pushing and keep doing what you're doing. We definitely know that you guys are focused, and we want you to understand that there are a lot of people that are looking up to you guys, and there needs to be an example, or there needs to be a model of what we say can happen. A lot of people don't believe you can be a student athlete where it's balancing the both. A lot of people don't believe that you can pursue these passions 100%, but still give your best in each area and be the best that you can be every day. And you guys are obviously doing that. So you're doing a high school, about to go to college. Kameron and Maliek, you're in college and you wanted to finish college, but you also want to go pro. And you guys are obviously doing, demonstrating that it can be done. So we just really want to thank you guys. We also want to thank all those who came onto the live, all the questions that were asked, and helped to keep this a very interesting and interactive session. It definitely was very good. We do hope that the parents that are online, the coaches and the players, that you got something from it. And we really want you to, on our Facebook, make your comments, tell us what more you want to hear. Let us know what some of those questions are that you want to be answered. Like our pages, share the information that you want to others. We're going to post this back on our Instagram pages, so at Go Ballaz and at Owntouch. Greg is going to post it as well, so other people were not able to hear this recording will be able to hear it. So I want to thank Greg. I just want to give an opportunity for each of you to kind of just say your closing remarks or words. So Maliek, can you just give your closing words?
Yeah, I'd like to thank everyone
Everybody's
today.
frozen.
I'd like to thank everyone today who tune in and listen to what we have to share and give you guys knowledge of the lifestyle, the experience of a college student who have a decision to go the professional way or to go to college, with the adversity that you face as a player in leaving from Jamaica and going into college, the pathway that you think would be there, but it's not, but you still have to keep grinding, you still have to keep going. So I just want to thank everyone who come out today and watch and just gain from it and gain knowledge from it, so you could tell other people, you could give other people information stuff that they don't know, because a lot of people out there really don't know what it's like. They just think it's just going to college and it's nice. It's just going the professional way and it's nice. There's a lot of other stuff to it, a lot of adversity to it that you're gonna face and you're gonna have to overcome, and you gotta have to be strong mentally, and you're gonna have to be grounded and humble, and just knowing that you have to apply yourself no matter what the situation brings. So just thank y'all, thank everyone that came out today and watched. Love y'all.
Thank you, Kameron, and then Greg.
Kind of going off that, thank you everyone for watching and listening and being engaged with the nice comments and the questions that you all had. It's amazing for me to be able to come on here and share my experiences and answer any questions that you guys have, because this is people's lives here, and parents or even people who are in my position or Maliek's position. Just being able to give you guys guidance is honestly a blessing for me. So obviously, if there's any more questions or anything that we didn't touch on, please you can reach out to any of us. But again, thank you all. Have a great night.
Greg.
Yes, V. Again, this is unbelievable to see our two young players being articulate and explaining their experiences, which is this is the reason for this platform. I just want Maliek to know that I'm one of his biggest fans. I don't know if he knows that, but the little time that I played with him in Jamaica, we warmed up together. He stood out to me as a special person and a player. So I expect big things, and I wish you all the best. And thank everybody for supporting us. And again, this is just something me and Andre decided to just talk, just put it together and just have chats. And I think it's very important, because a lot of our student athletes and parents don't know or understand behind the scenes of how things are going, how things go, and how we give opportunities in different ways. So thank everybody for coming out, and we can continue to take this to another level, bring in some other professional coaches and staff and good stuff. So thank everybody.
Yeah, so guys, that ends the live for tonight. Really just want to, as your host, thank all for joining. In order for us to be as effective as we would like to be, we definitely need to hear from you. So if you're a parent and of a student athlete considering going to college, there are some specific questions that if you can send our way, whether it's on our IG, so that's @GoBallaz, or even on our Facebook page. Send the questions in, because what we will do with these questions is identify the right people. We don't necessarily have all the answers. We are coaches, we were players, we went through the process, but things are changing and evolving every day. With COVID that's going on, the college process is a whole new ball game. We don't even know what's going to happen. So we intend to invite some college coaches on who obviously have a insight into what's happening, and we would like them to speak into the process right now, what's going on, what are the changes that will be made NCAA and so on. So that's going to be very, very important. So please send those questions in, as well as we're going to bring in some former players. We're going to bring in an agent talking about going pro. So some real rich stuff that we intend to do, and I really think it's some good stuff. So get your other teenage friends, get your other student athletes, get the parents who are considering this to get to come on board next week Thursday. It's going to be the same time, 7 p.m. Jamaica time, 8 p.m. Eastern. We will obviously be sharing on our social media pages who our guests will be. Sorry we couldn't confirm it tonight, but we really wanted to be able to get the questions and know where the interest is, so that we can be able to really speak into where the need is and what the issues are. And so next week Thursday, Greg and I will co-host again, and we'll be bringing some useful information. So thank everyone for coming on. We love you, I appreciate you, and look forward to next week Thursday. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Big up.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.